Hello marketers, in this video we are going to explore the several advanced reports we have in the Analysis Hub. Right now we are going to create an exploration report in the GA4. So we are going to create exploration report. So these are the settings we have for creating an exploration report. So I'm removing all this. So we have the space for creating the reports here. The reports that we create are available here. And then we have the tab called the variables. In the tab settings, in the variables, we have all the related components that we want to add in these reports, like the segments, dimensions, metrics. So we can add different segments and metrics and dimensions into our reports. And in the tab settings, we have the settings that are related to this technique type exploration. So for app 1 and analytics, there would be a different type, and there are several other report types. So we have different parameters or settings for different types of techniques. So right now we are going to explore the exploration report. So we have the date range here, and I'm going to set it to the last 30 days and apply it. And I'm going to name this as exploration analysis. So, and these reports we are going to generate it by using the demo account that is being provided by GA4 for exploring all this kind of events before doing it on a new account, so that we do not have any data available to analyze the reports. So we are going to experiment this on the demo account so that we can have a clear idea of all the reports and analyze them. So now we are into the segment section. So the segments are these are the default segments we have already inbuilt into this exploration, and we can add any dimensions or metrics we would like to add by clicking on the plus button. So coming to the segments, we have these segments. Just analyze these segments, we'll get an idea how to create new segments. So we can edit this and apply the segment, or we can even delete this segment. So I'm going to edit this to see the segment details. So here, this segment mentions that to include the country. So the country that would exactly match US. So this segment is defined as the US, and the direct traffic, if we see this, we have the segment based upon the dimension called the campaign source, and the user acquired campaign source should be direct. So this segment comes under the direct traffic. So like this, we can also create our own segments by clicking on the plus button, and we can create a user segment or a session segment or an event segment. Okay, so we will be creating it later on. And then we have the dimensions. So these are the default dimensions available here. We can also add the other dimensions by just selecting it here. We can add the event name. So I'm going to apply it, and it's available here. And we can add the region. So, and I apply it, it would be available here. So like this, we can add any dimensions we would like to add into this dimension section. And then this is the metric section. We can add several metrics into this by just searching or the metric we would like to add into this. And we can add it like sessions, and also add the conversions. I'm going to apply it, and this would be visible in the metric section, and we can add the total users, and apply it. So the metrics are available here. These are the several metrics. And then coming to the tab settings, we have the technique. Right now we are using the exploration. We're going to explore all this later on. So we have the exploration and also the visualization technique over here. It would be a data table or a pie chart or a line chart, and we can visualize this reports in any visualization form we would like to. And then we have the segments. So here we can add the segments that we have here, and we can just drop down over into this section, and then we can use the dimensions that are available, or we can add some other dimensions we would like to add, and can use this into the rows or the columns. So I'm going to use this country section in the row. So the dimension would be available as a row. And then we can also add the metrics. I'm going to add the active users into the values section by just dropping it over here. So right now you can see here we have the country dimension and active users is the metric. So here country, we have selected it as a row. So the country dimensions would be available as rows. And we can add another dimension as a column. I'm going to select this and add it as a column. Then this dimension would be available as a column. So here we have two dimensions, country and the device category. So country is listed in the form of row and the device category is under column section. And these are the metrics that we have added. So we can add some other metrics too into the report, the sessions. We can just double click on that, and conversions, also the event count. So these things can be added into the report. Once these are added, we can analyze this according to the categorization we made according to the dimension and the metrics. And here we can select the start row, that is from the row from which we would like to start our report. And we can also define the number of rows that could be visible in the report. It could be 10 or it could be till 500. And the nested rows be available if we add more than one dimension in the rows section. And that is if I would like to add another region into this, then we'll have the breakdown under nested rows. See here, we have under this country, the region and the device category is available as the rows. And then we have the column groups. That is, we have the desktop and then we have the mobile, tablet. So these and the totals, these are the column groups. So this is the device category and the region, and I have applied this. And if we could apply this device category instead of column to the nested section, then I would like to apply it to the device category and the country as another row. And I would like to nest the rows. Yes. So then we can have a breakdown of the device category under these columns. And we can also mention the cell type as a chart or a plain text or as a heat map. So we're going to check that once this gets loaded. And here we can add the filters. That is, we can define the filter based upon the reports and the data we would like to include in the report or include or exclude in our reports. So it just takes some time to be uploaded. So now we have the data. So country is one dimension and the device category is another dimension. As we have mentioned, to use the nested rows to be yes, so we get the device category as mobile, tablet and desktop, and it's nested under this category. And then we have the brief analysis of the sessions coming from this mobile and from this country, and from this country through desktop, and from India through desktop, the number of active sessions generated, the sessions and the users and the conversions from India through desktop. So this is how we can explore the entire report. And now I would like to apply a filter on this report. So now I would like to exclude Brazil from this report. So let me apply a filter and the country, and we can select the match type does not contain, or we would like to display only India. Then we can display it like applying the filter contains India, and I'm applying this filter. So now we could only see the data coming from India. So this is how we can apply the filters and also the segments. And I hope we haven't added any segment to the data, right? So I'm going to add a segment to this. So we can create a different segment or we can use the existing segments. As I've already mentioned, we can create a new segment by using this and we can create here, add a segment and demographics, and add something like the event and this conversion event, or we can use the other dimensions like the demographics and the gender, and create one with that as female, and we can apply this, and we can apply this filter onto our reports. We can name this and we can apply this segment onto our reports. So this is how we can create, and we can also create a session segment or an event segment. And we also have some other suggestions from over here. We have the general, like the recently active users or the non-purchasers. We can also apply this. We can apply this, and also we can add some other things to this depending upon our requirements. So we have a lot number of things like the e-commerce section. In e-commerce, we can add the purchases or the other dimensions or metrics that we have, and we can apply that to the report. And now as we have applied the filter, so the India data is only available in our report, and we have the device category as this, and in this I would like to apply another segment called the direct traffic. And let us see, this segment would be applied to our data, and we can see the number of segmentation coming from the direct traffic, and we can apply several segment onto this reports, like we can apply the paid traffic, and then we can see the variation between those segments. And see, here we have the direct traffic and the paid traffic and the different several metrics. And we can create, as we have the US traffic, we can create another segment, that is the user segment, and add a thing called the country. So the country ID does not contain. So I would like to make just the opposite of the segment we have right now, and I would like to use it as US. So this is the segment I'm creating, and I'm going to mention it as non-US. So I'm saving it and applying it. So now I'm going to remove the direct traffic and then use this US traffic. So now we can analyze the traffic coming from US and coming from the non-US countries, like this, the non-US countries and the paid traffic and the US and the entire summary of the report. So this is how we can apply the different segments to our report, and also create new segments based on our requirement. And this is under the table view. We can convert this into a pie chart view for our comfort. So this is the pie chart view. So this, as we have only one country, it's only India. So if we just remove this filter, we can have an idea of the pie chart. See, these are the several countries. See, this is from Brazil, this is from India, and the United States, and all the other countries. And we can also have a different view with the line chart, and we can have a bar chart. So it would be represented in the form of bars, and the entire data could be analyzed in that way. So just taking time to generate the data in the form or the visualization technique we would like to use. So I hope you're all clear with the segments and the dimensions and the metrics that we would like to use here. We can add any number of metrics and any number of dimensions. And the most important advantage of the exploration reports is we can add up to 5 dimensions into our report and analyze that based upon all these dimensions. Generally, we get a lot of information just by adding 2 dimensions, as in GA3 we can add a secondary dimension, and even in GA4 the other report supports a secondary dimension. But here in the analysis hub we can add up to 5 dimensions and give more meaning to the data we have collected. So this is the bar chart way of representation of the reports that we have used. So you can see here the active users of coming from Brazil, and then we can have here from Egypt and Mexico. So this is the bar chart representation of our data. and we can undo it by using this. And also we can create segments from the data we would like. Right now I like this one. I can include this only selection, or we can exclude this selection. If I just exclude this selection, this will be gone from our data and the appraisal is no longer available. And then also we can download this report and we can also share this report. And the thing is, we can also view the users related to this. As this is the demo account, we do not have access to view the users. Generally, in our accounts, we can view the users related to this report or coming from India, the active users and the user report, and we can have it in the user explorer report. We're going to explore it in the user explorer report. I hope you're clear with everything over here in the exploration report, so you can do wonders by using this exploration report and create the number of custom reports you would like to create with the different dimensions and the metrics and segments, and apply different filters on your data, and also create audience based upon the segments and include some data into your reports. And you can filter some data and you can exclude data coming from a particular device or a country, and just analyze the data that you would like to concentrate upon. And also create several visualization methods by using a pie chart or bar chart, which would be comfortable for your analyzing section. Like for example, for the e-commerce section, it would be very much easy to understand it by using a bar chart like that. So you can use any visualization tool. This is how you create the exploration reports in GA4. Thank you.